to our Wednesday Wellness webinar, which is brought to you by Asia Premier One Source. So today, we're very excited to share with you this wellness webinar that we have launched last week rather, and we talked about yoga stretches last week, and it was so awesome. Everyone have practiced their yoga stretches. This time around, we will do boost your immune system and fuel your body. So we have actually invited someone to join us in this Wednesday morning to share with us how we can use or how we can maximize the food that we are consuming by fueling our body and boosting our immune system amidst of this pandemic. So without further ado, I will be sharing to you the profile of this person that we've invited. He is actually a registered nutritionist and dietitian. He graduated in Cebu Doctors University in 2017 and got his PRC license the same year. He worked with Optum Global Solutions as health and wellness coach for a year and 11 months. And currently, fresh from Siargao, we will be joined by our registered nutritionist and dietitian. He's managing a small business and still accepting private consultation for nutrition education and meal planning. So let us all welcome Cyril Fernandez. Hi, Sai.
Oh, hello. I'm
There
sorry, I
you
was
are.
on mute.
Okay.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. Thank you
Hello.
for gracing us with your time today. And everyone is actually invited, the whole organization, we've invited them, and everyone is excited to hear from you. But before we start, you sharing with us about diets and all, how are you in this pandemic?
I'm doing good. I'm very happy that I'm here in Siargao because we don't have much cases here. I think we only have our case a week ago or two.
Mm-hmm.
And they are very prompt in addressing such a problem because they are locking down every barangays immediately, and they are performing contact tracing.
That's
So
nice.
I'm currently in General Luna, but like the case is in other barangay, and we cannot go outside General Luna at the moment.
Right. And so I think you've prepared something for us, especially that actually we both have work from home employees and we have work on site. So both are curious on how we can boost our immune system and what food or how do we go about, what are the food that we should be consuming at this time.
All right, so I will be starting now, right? Yeah. Okay. So just a moment, I'll try to share my screen with you. But before that, I would like to say thank you for inviting me. And I will be discussing proper nutrition during the pandemic. And I will try to make it very easy for everyone. And just a disclaimer that I will not be discussing something about the cure for the COVID-19, but instead I will be discussing something diet related that you can improve your diet. You can improve your proper diet, and it will help you to boost your immune system so you can prevent getting the virus. So just a moment, I'll share my screen with you. All right, so can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
All right, so I'll proceed now. So first, proper nutrition during the pandemic, we have to observe MOVABA. And MOVABA means moderation, variety, and balance. And it is a very useful abbreviation in nutrition and diet because it's easy to remember. Imagine it's just 3 words that will help your diet improve because you don't have to think of so many rules for a proper diet. And I will be elaborating them one by one. First is moderation, which means that we can enjoy different kinds of food in the right amounts. So on a normal and healthy adult, which means that you don't have any pre-existing conditions, you can definitely eat whatever you like. Let's say lechon, pizza, burger, fried chicken, ice cream, chocolates, and any food that you can think of. But you have to know how much you need to consume. But later on, I will give you a sample guide for the proper amount of food to consume in a day. So that is the concept of moderation. Once again, we can enjoy different kinds of food in the right amounts. Next is the variety. Variety means that there is no single food that contains all the nutrients that we require. So how do we eat a variety of foods is, of course, we have to look for substitute. Like for example, for us Filipinos, we usually eat white rice as our main source of carbohydrates. But maybe some other times you can have pasta, whole wheat bread, sourdough, or oatmeal, because there are other nutrients that are present to oatmeals and breads that are not present in white rice. Or for the proteins, if you like eating chicken, maybe you can also try eating fish or beans and legumes. And for the fruits, we are if you are familiar with the rainbow diet, I think this was a trend circulating on Facebook before. There's an article about this. And when I was still a student as a nutritionist and dietitian, I always questioned if how true is that diet, or probably it's just another diet trend or a diet fad. But eventually I figured it out that the rainbow diet is really true, because in every food color or pigment, there is a particular nutrient present to that one. And you cannot get the same nutrient in the different color of food. So it's nice that you are able to get your greens, your reds from tomatoes, apples, and your yellows from papaya or mangoes. So once again, that is the concept of variety. So we have to eat different kinds of food because there is no single food that contains all the nutrients that we require. And for the third one, which is balance, it is the correct proportions or the right amount of food that the body needs. So remember that we have the three macronutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. It can also be four if you include water. But the concept of balance is that you need to have these three macronutrients present in your meal all the time. So oftentimes, or it's very common that we see people saying that they are on a diet, but we see them, they're just eating crackers and water. And if you ask me if that is a good diet, of course, no, because it is not a balanced diet. You're only getting water and carbohydrates. So your proteins and fats are missing. And earlier I think there was a question regarding about how you lose weight properly. I'll try to address that one here. If you'd like to lose weight, of course you still have to eat all of the three macronutrients, which are the carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, but you just have to reduce each of them. You don't need, I mean, you shouldn't eat just fruits, or just a salad, just a cracker, just a banana. So try to balance everything but reduce each of them. So that is the concept of Movaba for balance. Once again, that's the correct proportions or the right amount of the food that the body needs. If you like something visual, we have the food pyramid. Food pyramid is a classic visual aids for us to observe, and just make sure that you are following the food pyramid for Filipino adults, because there are a lot of food pyramids. Actually, there are for Americans, there is a food pyramid for Mediterranean diet, but we have to specifically follow the food pyramid for Filipinos. And this is something this is from the Food and Nutrition Research Institute, as well as the DOST, because this is a science based and they have researched a lot for this. This is applicable to most Filipinos. So if you can see, we have to consume 8 glasses of water in a day. And then for the carbs, you have rice, corn products, breads, or noodles. You have to consume 5 to 8 servings. So if you see the food pyramid, this is just a range of a normal consumption. For a proper and balanced diet. Now, if you like to reduce your weight, maybe you can reduce each of the servings suggested by the food pyramid. Maybe, as you can see here, for the carbs, you have 5 to 8 servings. If you are reducing your weight, maybe you can have 4 to 6 servings instead. For the fruits and vegetables, you need to have 3 servings each per day. So most likely they're suggesting that you need to have fruits and vegetables in every meal. So if you are wondering how much is 1 serving of vegetable, so as a general guide, if you're eating raw vegetable, fresh vegetable salads, you need to have 1 cup, and that is equal to 1 serving rather. But if it is a cooked vegetable, you only need ½ cup. For the fruits, usually what is common to us is mango. So as a reference, one slice, or like the one cheek of the mango, that's already 1 serving. So it's not one whole mango for you. If you eat the whole mango, that's already 2 servings. And then for the milk and milk products, the FNRI suggested just 1 glass for Filipinos, because they also considered the accessibility and affordability of the food in the Philippines. But I guess in other countries, they are suggesting 2 glasses because milk is cheap in their country. And then we can eat 1 piece of egg in a day, and then 3 to 4 servings of fish, meat, and poultry. I'd like to elaborate something about the fish and the meat, because this is the common place where Filipino diet can get, it's a mistake for us. It's a common mistake for us, because 3 to 4 servings of meat, that's just about the size of the palm. And that is already your allocation for the entire day. Imagine one palm of meat, that it's like 1 pork chop, just 1 pork chop. But it's easy to make a mistake, because we can have just 1 pork chop for lunch or dinner. And you can have another pork chop
Or depending
in
on the
your,
size, like sometimes the pork chop would be just one, but how many inches would the pork chop be?
I'm sorry?
I mean, how many inches would the pork chop be? Because you can have like one pork chop, but it's like a big slob.
Yes. So as a reference, a good reference for that is the matchbox. That's why you are common with a one matchbox size, diba?
Yeah.
So if we use our body as a reference, we can use our palm. So our palm is about 3 matchbox. So that's already 3 servings.
So one
And
serving is like this. It's like as small as is it like this is a matchbox.
yes, yes.
Oh my God. This is just like the meat and the vegetable like we that we eat. Like
Yes. So
sahog, but not
that is really the common mistakes of Filipinos in our diet, because we are consuming too much protein, and we cannot blame ourselves because meat
Filipinos love to eat.
yes, and meat products in the Philippines is actually cheap compared. I mean, there are other countries that meat products are expensive
I
for
see.
them,
Yeah.
and for us we have a lot of supply. Maybe the reason why it's also cheap for us. And then for the sugars and sweets, we are only allowed 5 to 8 teaspoons in a day, which isn't bad. At least if you get your coffee or hot chocolate, you can have sugars for that, and it's fine. For the fats and oils, you are allowed up to 6 to 8 teaspoons. And for the fats and oils, you can sometimes get this already in your meat. Like for example, if you have a high fat milk, I mean high fat meat rather, you are already getting a portion or like a serving of fat from there. And whenever you saute your vegetables prior cooking, you are already getting your fats and oils from that one. So sometimes you can also put oil as a dressing on your salad. So in a day you can have up to 6 to 8. All right. So from time to time, maybe you can check this food pyramid. It's nice that we can have a reference at some point. And just in case you would like to lose weight, just reduce each of them. So I'll proceed to the next one, which is the immuno boosting food. First, I suggested here that you need to get sufficient macronutrients, which are your water, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, because the absorption of your vitamins and minerals will not be as efficient without the macronutrients. So because usually our idea about immuno boosting foods is just the vitamins and minerals, and oftentimes we are taking vitamins, we are eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, but then we have insufficient carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So in order for those to be more effective, we have to get macronutrients first. We should have enough macronutrients in our body. And then for the micronutrients, we need to have vitamins and minerals. Of course, very common is vitamin C. And you don't need to have a, a supplement for that actually. If you check your food pyramid, remember that they suggested about three fruits in a day, right? 2 to 3 fruits. And let's say if you are taking or eating papaya or orange, 3 oranges in a day, you are already getting enough vitamin C for that. So you don't need your supplements anymore. And then last, for immuno boosting food is to consider probiotic intake. Very common here is kimchi. We have our yogurt, sourdough, sauerkraut, kombucha, miso, and pickles. And the reason behind this is that once we have a healthy gut or healthy stomach, the absorption of vitamins and minerals is greater or improved. And maybe this is the reason why we see articles about Koreans having lesser cases now because they eat a lot of kimchi. And it doesn't have to be just kimchi, but you have a lot of other food that is also considered a probiotic. And then for my last topic, what are the food foods to avoid or lessen? I have here salt and salty food, sugary food and sweets, fat intake, and alcohol. So my reference for this one is from the World Health Organization, and this doesn't really directly affect your immunity against coronavirus, but instead, the WHO is suggesting that you have to prevent other illnesses or diseases because if you were able to encounter the information before that, they are saying it is harder to manage coronavirus if you have pre-existing conditions, like your survival rate is lower. So I guess that is my topic. I hope you have understood everything. But just in case you have any questions, just let me know.
Okay, so it's now the question and answer portion. What I like about your presentation was the fact that we need to really we can boost our immune system by the food that we're taking. Because diba,
Mm-hmm.
we noticed so much in the news would say about face shield, face mask, and
Mm-hmm.
alcohol, but we are forgetting the main essential part of our immune system, our body, to really take care of ourselves, right? And to make sure that we are eating properly. Medyo natamaan ako dun. Kasi the reminder of the serving portions, I was thinking, how can I do some gyupsal? I will just eat a lot of kimchi and then just
Yes.
fat box of meat. Yeah. Let me see if they have question. I think they are typing now. But what do you ako, I have a question about, let's say, because it's pandemic and some people would really won't be able to read
Mm-hmm.
to have those. Teka, let's just stop sharing. And then I will highlight your video. There you go. Okay, so a lot of us sometimes would go to the grocery and you'd notice that not a lot of vegetables and fruits are available. So
Mm-hmm.
what do you suggest in at least putting it in the cart for the week itself to consume? Kasi most likely if they have no idea to go to the grocery, they're just gonna go to the canned goods and just put it there
Mm-hmm.
and eat it and consume it.
So I think with that one, it's really about meal planning. You
Mm-hmm.
need to plan your meals in a week or in a day so you are able to purchase what you actually need. So just make sure that fruits and vegetables are on your list, because if you're able to buy canned goods, then why not vegetables and fruits? And it doesn't have to be always the fancy fruits and vegetables. Whatever is locally available, that's the cheapest. So uh, that's not that's not bad if you just stick with whatever is cheap, and you're also getting your macros and vitamins and minerals as well.
Right. I like how you simplify to the diet in terms of what is readily available. Go ahead and consume
Mm-hmm.
it. It doesn't have to be that complicated of writing down their blueberries or strawberries.
Yes.
Not even if it's not even the broccoli, if it's not even available in the market. So just find the greens. And the easiest part that I remember would be that my plate should be colorful, coming from the vegetables and fruits and the meat.
Yes.
There's one question.
The rainbow diet.
Rainbow
Mhm.
diet. Sai, the question of Mara is, do you recommend keto diet?
Okay.
Pinaglalab
This is a very common question. And keto diet, I would recommend it yes and no. I would recommend it to patients with seizures.
Oh, is it
We
where it
use it.
started?
I'm sorry.
Is it where it started, the keto diet from the
Yes.
okay.
Oo. So We use it in the practice keto diet, but specifically for patients with seizures because it calms them. But as a normal diet, of course, we do not recommend it. Or if you use it as a for weight loss, we do not recommend it because the fat content of the keto diet, of course, it's dominantly fat. Eventually, your lipid profile will be affected. So that's the reason why we do not recommend. And at the end of the day, it's still about movaba, moderation, variety, and balance. And you just reduce everything. You will still get the same result.
Okay, that's very interesting. I have one private question. She was asking whether would it still be in a balance if the food that they're taking is more on, because they're vegan and they believe in something, of course. But can it
Mm.
still be a balanced diet even if they're vegan?
Of course, that is also possible. We have our plant-based proteins like nuts, legumes, and beans. So they are still getting, I mean, it is possible for them to get enough carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. It's just that I think the common deficiency for vegans is really with the micronutrient side, but not really much with the macronutrients.
Mm,
So it is still possible that you can get the macronutrients, but then again, remember in the concept of variety that there is no single food that has all the
right.
nutrients. So there are specific micronutrients that we can only get from the meat
Mm-hmm.
or meat or fish or poultry, and they are. I mean, we cannot get them in the plant-based
Maybe that's
protein.
why they have more like different supplements that are they try to incorporate, because they're not just
Yes,
the meat or the
correct.
fish, right, right. Okay. Wow, we're learning a lot here. And okay, if you don't have any other question, if you have question, just send it to us uh later on, and I will try to send it to Sai. If and just I'm just curious, you're in Siargao. So my last question is not about diet, but
Mhm.
are you near any beach? Are you near the beach?
Yes, it's across my place. It's already the beach.
Wow. Yeah, we wish you had that background earlier pala, no? Para we can see it. Wow, okay. Yeah, so, and usually, if you're near the beach, I heard that people are surfing there. So,
Mhm.
be a surfer.
I am learning. I'm
There,
surfing 3 to 5 times a week.
I see. That's nice. That's a nice place to be locked down.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for your time today, Sai. I think we've wrapped up everything, and you've given somehow we've been enlightened with how to balance the food, and at the same time to just pursue having that balanced diet. Yeah. So thank you so much, and have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me once again. Have a good day.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.
Hi everyone.